opening exchanges. This time it's Lewis Dodd who's in Meadows' eye line. Dodd tries to hack the ball on and play on. There's a scrum here 40 metres away. Saints' real first crack in good ball.
Yeah, Super League best defence in Helens, conceded only 136 points in 13 games, so for London to crack, they're going to have to produce something special to get through the St Helens line today. Let's see what Saints can do with their first attack. Here is Conrad Hurrell. Good defence from Natoli and Maloney. Now Delaney for St Helens. Well, George Delaney is the man who is replacing the injured Alex Walmsley at the moment, a long-term casualty, and by Wellesby in the line, but good defence, manages to get the ball out there to Darrell Clark. Clark across the line, still going. Is he going to get any support, Darrell Clark? Eventually brought down by Reece Kennedy. Dodd at dummy half and Mbai. Now Bell with a little step inside, a twist and a turn. 2 tackles left in this set. Dodd, inside it goes, and Delaney goes for the line. A gap open there, didn't it, just for a second. Walker in there to make the tackle initially. Clark, it goes back to Mbai. Kick towards the corner, looking for Blake, who does really well. Wanga Blake takes that superbly, crashes the ball down, and it looked like St Helens had taken the lead early on. The video ref is Todd Grant, and he will make the ultimate call.
Yeah, his reaction tells it all from Wanga Blake.
Okay, it's tackle 5. We've got a try on field, which I can onside, offside, into grounding. So come back and pause the ball on the foot. Everybody to the right of the kicker is onside, so we can play this through. This is level for the grounding, so we're just to confirm whether the ball has been grounded. It's a fair challenge in possession. Thank you, I've seen all I need.
Well, I don't think there was ever any doubt, was there? I think James Vella, the referee, just making absolutely certain, but that was good stuff from Blake, who scores his 8th try in 13 games for St Helens. First attack, first try, Saints are on the board.
Yeah, and that's the difference. Lewis Dodd came up with an error early on, and London Broncos weren't able to put anything together. But when it was James Meadows who came up with it, the Saints, well, they were threatening the whole set. The inside play to George Delaney looked like he was going to crash over, and the next play, a kick over the top from Mbai, exactly where it needed to be. And Wanga Blake just out-jumps Hakeem Maludi to dot the first score of the afternoon. Mark Percival now got a difficult conversion, sitting at 73%.
News, by the way, on Tommy Makins, it's confirmed that he's picked up a foot injury. He's unlikely to return, which is bad news for Paul Wellens and the St Helens coaching staff. The doctor's having a look at it now, but I think it's safe to say it would be a big surprise if Tommy Makinson returned. And interesting as well that Paul Wellens switched his wingers.
Yeah.
Because that's where Tommy Makinson would have been. So Blake has come over to the right wing and Ben Davis has switched over to the left wing.
Yeah.
So Percival then off the touchline to see if he can add the extras for St Helens. Yeah, an important try. And I wonder if it's the first of many. We shall see. Reminding a win, they go top of the table again. Ahead of their arch rivals Wigan. Don't forget that huge game live on Sky Sports Rugby League, 12th of July, Wigan against Saints, heading for a sellout. Will be massive. Off the touchline goes Percival. That looks a beauty. Wow, what a kick. And what a start for Saints. They lead 6-0. Blake with the try. And Percival with a brilliant kick off the touchline.
Yeah, it was a beautiful weighted kick from Moses Mbai. And Wanga Blake just out-jumps Hakeem Maludi to get his 8th try of the season. Operating on the wing. Gets the ball down. George Delaney winding up there. Decent carry from him to start the set off.
He's in a rich vein of form, you know, Wanga Blake. That's 7 in the last 7 games, including a hat-trick in their last away game, if you may remember, when they demolished Castleford at the Jungle.
He was slow to start, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You know, a few of the Saints fans were perhaps raising an eyebrow, but he settled in well. Wellsby looking for the offload, wasn't there.
So another mistake, this time from Jack Wellsby. Doesn't make too many mistakes, does he?
No. I mean, he gets his arm free, tries to promote the ball, and that's sometimes when you come to places like this, Stuart, you can almost go away from it and not really want to do the tough stuff. You know, you want to overplay, and everybody wants to get on the score sheet. Everyone wants to break a tackle, and sometimes you just need to grind these sort of early stages out.
So a chance for the Broncos. Leyland now. Jared Bassett, still one of the great stories of Super League for me, Jared Bassett. The Australian plays Southern Conference, Rugby League as an amateur, then League One, then Championship, and here he is on merit now playing Super League. Good charge, Bienek it was. Here's Leyland now, kick behind the defence. It had to be read, and read well by Jack Wellsby. Just about stays in play, but that was incisive from Leyland, and it nearly paid off.
It was a good idea. There was no one at home at the back. Just slots the kick through, and Wellsby has to turn and sprint backwards. See, this is what I was talking about. The player was on, but at this stage of the game, just get through your set. You're in a difficult place in the corner of the field, Stuart. Just get through your set, roll up the field.
Yeah, it was Hurrell.
Yeah,
Hurrell forcing it. Bell was on the charge.
I mean, there's no doubt, or perhaps no, even when I watch it again, it's actually a poor error from Conrad Hurrell, the decision to pass that ball.
No, look, you get the Saints, they're going to get it back.
They get the ball back.
London won their last 2 home games against Saints. You may remember back in 2019 at Ealing. I think on both occasions Saints left a few at home because of the artificial surface.
They didn't leave me at home.
No. Is that why they lost?
Yeah, probably.
6-0, St Helens in front. Coming up for 12 minutes gone. The sun shining at Twickenham in the shadow of the Twickenham Stadium, where of course St Helens won the Challenge Cup all the way back in 2006. Just over the road it is. Here we are at the home of Harlequins. And by now, inside for Conrad Hurrell. Inside his own half. He's going to get a penalty there. Too much in the tackle from Tisson, and Kennedy can have no complaints. That was silly, because Saints only had a couple of tackles left in the set, Kyle.
Much better from Conrad Hurrell there. He wins the floor. And I think it was Hugo Tyson has a little pull of the boot.
So another opportunity then for St Helens. They got away with one just in front of their own post. Then they got a penalty. Here's Matty Lees now. They're shaping up to that left-hand side. Numbers. They're counting. Bell steps inside. Gets away from one, but Tisson hangs on and hangs on and hangs on and just about brings down James Bell on the London 20. Here is Darrell Clark and Wellsby now. Matautia. Clark will go on his own. Wellsby will touch down, I think.
Oh, he's held up there, I think.
Or is he held up? We're going to find out. Did Wellsby manage to find a way through? The defence looked static for a moment, and it looks like it was good defence from London. They just managed to keep Wellsby from grounding that ball. Let's have a look. Here's Tom Grant, the video referee.
Okay, so it's tackle 3 with on-field call of no try. Live call is held up. So we can see the ball is well up at this point. Well up, well up, well up. There appears to be a hand underneath that ball. Try and see if this gives us another view. This is going to tell us more. So tackle 3. Ball is clearly up at this point. I can still see it up. There looks to be a hand underneath that ball. These are the only 2 angles I've got available on this. going to make my decision on this one. So the ball is clearly up at this point, and there's a hand underneath the ball. I'm just going to play this through. And the ref blows a whistle at that point. I've got a decision.
The decision is coming for no try. Jack Welsby held up. I'm not quite sure that Kyle Amor agrees with that.
Oh, dearie me, I think he's got that one wrong. You can clearly see the point of the ball touches the floor. And sent up as a no try, so perhaps that's what sways it over.
Stay on the line here.
For Tom Grant.
Play the ball.
You just see this angle's the best one, just there.
Well,
Deemed a hand under the ball, it matters not. Conrad Hurrell, he looks to threaten this line once more.
last one. No try with the video ref. They've got one more tackle in the bank here. Dodd and By with a little kick through, and good defence in the end by Robbie Story on that far side. London survive, coming up for 14 minutes. And it's 6-0 St Helens.
Yeah, London Broncos obviously just riding St Helens' attack and managing to hang on. You just do get the sense, though, Stuart, that every time that Saints are down there, that you almost question whether the Broncos outfit can hold them out. And efforts like holding Jack Welsby up will certainly please Mike Eccles. But this is what Saints do very well. Pin teams in corners and ask them to roll all the way up the other end of the field. They're kicking from deep inside their own half.
Yeah, last one it is. Alex Walker denying Welsby. Leyland with the kick. And here is Mark Percival. I just think as well, I'm just looking at the far side where the Percival has switched to the wing and Davis is coming to the centre.
It appears to be that, yeah.
The injury, if you are just joining us, Tommy Makinson with the first carry of the game for St Helens, limping off with a foot injury. And the prolific winger unlikely to return. So Ben Davies on, St Helens leading 6-0. We're coming up for 15 minutes on the clock. Sirening now inside the Broncos half of the field. They just appear to be building up a head of steam, don't they?
Yeah, it's almost a question of when, isn't it? Not if.
Clark and Dodd and By and Welsby into the line. Good tackle from Bassett. Still two opportunities in the set for the Saints. Sione Matautia. Matoli does well, brings him down, just snubs out the danger momentarily. And By now for Blake, and Blake will score. What a fabulous pass that was from Moses and By. And Wanga Blake makes it 2 for him, 2 for St Helens, and they now lead by 10 points to 0.
Yeah, I mentioned it during that set that you just got a sense of when it was going to happen. And right on cue, Wanga Blake gets his second of the afternoon. His 10th try in total. Sorry, his 9th try in total now for Saints. But the pass from Mbai, straight out of the top draw, bang, cuts out 2 players straight across. Wanga Blake acrobatically dives over in the corner.
Bit of the showman. Great angle. Great try, great pass from Moses and By, you've got to say. And as Kyle Amor suggested, it had been coming. But then By playing on the right wing, on this right side, because of the injury to Tommy Makinson. And just to confirm, 8 tries in 7 games now for Wanga Blake, who's only on a 1-year contract, so decisions to be made by both club and player about 2025. Mike Eccles will be disappointed with that. It was on the last, they've done all the hard work.
Yeah, well, they do favour the right edge to St Helens when they move the ball. They move it there more often than not. Wanga Blake, the beneficiary of it. Percival now with another carbon copy of where he was kicking it from. He slotted that, no problem.
Just to give you an example of what we could have been expecting, we may yet get this afternoon. Before the game started, St Helens has scored 68 tries this season in Super League. London just 27. As I mentioned, Saints the best defence, conceding a measly 136 points. So everything suggesting and pointing towards a big St Helens win. We shall see. They've scored 2 tries so far. And what about this from Percival? Identical place to where he succeeded with Blake's first try after 7 minutes. And this one, again, looks to be a beauty. What a kick from Mark Percival. 2 absolute pearlers off the touchline. And Saints lead by 12 points to nil, coming up for 17 minutes gone on the clock.
Now Percival in the groove with his kicking teeth. But the pass here from Moses Mbai. It's a peach of a ball. Wonga Blake with the simplest of finishes. A little bit of acrobatics on the end for that man.
So Leyland gets us underway again. Of course, it's not going to get any easier for London. Next Friday, they're away at Wigan.
And then another away game at the Leeds Rhinos.
Yep.
Go. Lewis, get out of the ruts.
Sirenin. You've been impressed with him.
Yeah. We were talking about him yesterday, weren't we? And what he's been able to do for St Helens. Over the years, they've had some quality back rowers, and Curtis Sirenin just slots right into that mould. As does this man, Matty Lees. 150 appearances for Saints last week and a try for that against the Dragons. Moses
Mbai's through. He's looking for support and he's got it from Matautia. Matautia looking for support as well. Can he offload? He has support and he has Lewis Dodd. And that's a wonderful St Helens try. Going half the length of the field. Brilliant hands. Brilliant finish. And St Helens are closing in on a point a minute, leading 16-0. But that was just utter class.
Yeah, well, we were talking about Curtis Sirenin, but it's the other back row in Sione Matautia showing us all what he can do. Has the strength and the presence of mind on the end of it to supply that pass to Lewis Dodd. But it just started here. It's Mbai again. He's having a fantastic afternoon so far with 18 on the clock. Sione Matautia, just look at the shirts all flooding through there. Kershaw Walker can't deal with the strength from Matautia and Lewis Dodd. He goes in for a simple score. He gets his 5th try of the season, does Lewis Dodd. But it was the work from Moses Mbai, the support play from Matautia will please Wellens the most.
Yeah, Lewis Dodd in his last season at Saints, heading off for a journey in the NRL with South Sydney in 2025, signed a 3-year contract. But Paul Wellens will be delighted with the start. Kyle and I were watching the reserves game, weren't we, before this? St Helens playing against London, and there's a couple of players in that Saints Academy side at 6 and 7 who you rate very highly.
Yeah, George Whitby, a lot's been mentioned about him for a number of years now, almost following Lewis Dodd's path and been training with the first team, and he carved London Broncos reserves to pieces this afternoon. And I like the look of the young fullback as well, Stuart.
Yeah, Harry Robertson at 6, George Whitby at 7, and at the moment London are at 6s and 7s. They're trailing by 18 points to nil, approaching the midway point in this first half.
Yeah, they're just finding a different golfing class as Saints reserves head for the exit. An afternoon's work done for them. And by the little show and goal, the drop at the shoulder. And Matautia just too big, too strong. And there's a kick out on the full as well here. It's gone from bad to worse.
Apology there from Ollie Leyland, but when things aren't going for you, that's an absolute nightmare.
Well, it's following. I was down here a couple of weeks ago when they performed against Hull KR, leaking 64 points that afternoon. They showed a little bit of spirit inside the final 10 minutes, but it was men against boys, and it's pretty much looking ominous as it stands at 18-0 on the clock with only a quarter of the game gone.
Yeah, 3 tries for Saints. A little shake of the head there from Mike Eccles, who'll be disappointed. Lees offloads for Delaney, and Saints are hunting down more points. And do you know what? You look back at the Super League table last year, Wigan, St Helens and Catalan, or Wigan, Catalan, St Helens, like I say, in that order, separated by points difference. And it does make a big difference, doesn't it? Because it meant that Wigan and Catalan got the home semi-finals.
Yeah, it certainly does.
So every point could count come the end of the season. You never know. Here is Matty Lees.
3. And now!
Running into Robbie Story.
6 again.
It seems to me, well, they've got another
again.
set here, 6 again.
Yeah, they're gonna do well to hold them out here, Stuart.
Yes,
they really are.
Let's see what happens with Darrell Clark, and Bell now And Matty Lee's, well, he went to stretch out for the line. That's a brilliant tackle.
Hold!
It was Meadows, wasn't it, who brought him down? But Saints right on that try line once again.
Matty Lee's going close. That'd have been 2 in 2 weeks. That'd have been a rare collector's item for Matty.
Hold line!
Here they come again. Lewis Dodd and Moses and By. Here is Wellesby and Hurrell looking for a way through. The power of Conrad Hurrell. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 London players eventually stop Conrad Hurrell right on that try line. Here is Mbaye again. He's been terrific. Moses Mbaye. And here is Bell looking for a way through. Terrific tackle this time by Will Lovell, the captain. The last one, I think they may well have lost the ball, have they?
James Bell is deemed to have
too quick.
Not played the ball correctly, and it's a handover, and London do survive. You just see there, he's not regained his feet, and it's a correct decision.
It is. That's the new rule this season.
Yeah, James Bell will be disappointed with that one.
Chance wasted, but good defence this time from the Broncos.
But I really like the little soft short pass from George Delaney to give Bell that into that position.
Left side. Hold!
18-0, St Helens leading. Here at the Twickenham Stoop. The Broncos are on the road again, aren't they, in July? And they play Castleford, I think it's the same night as Wigan Saints, at Ebbsfleet United's football ground in Kent. We'll be covering that as well live on Sky Sports.
Just lost the ball.
Is that a message from, or a mistake I should say, from Kershaw on this occasion?
But when you're coming up from bottom of the table up to the top, little errors, basic errors like this just kill you. They really do.
Got to hold on to the ball, haven't you? Frustrating for Mike Eccles.
Well, the first try of the afternoon was scored off the back of a James Meadow error. Are we going to see Saints making them pay for that?
I think the frustrating thing for Eccles, the coach, will be the fact that they kept Saints out. They defended their line really well, and then 30 seconds later they come up with another mistake.
It's the hardest part of the field to defend, Stuart, as well as Mbaye looks to introduce Wellesby into this play. He skirts back through the centre of the field, trying to find something, and he finds a pass to Percival, who's met well there.
Does well, Jack Wellesby. Another opportunity then for St Helens to add points. And Tommy Makinson is right beneath us, by the way, pitch side. And he has a protected boot on his foot, so he isn't coming back, and that could be bad news for Saints. But this could be good news as they search a fourth try. Darryl Clark then at dummy half. What a good signing he's been, replacing, I guess, the irreplaceable in James Roby. But an opportunity for Mbaye here. He went on his own, and I think he's managed to scramble his way over. It's a try for Moses Mbaye. I'll tell you what, it's all that he deserves. He's been superb, Moses Mbaye, replacing the injured Johnny Lomax. He's made a couple of tries, and now he's scored one, and Saints extend their lead to 22 points to 0.
Yeah, you just took the words right out of my mouth. Moses Mbaye, he's already set Wonga Blake up twice, and then he created that break that led to Lewis Dodd, the third try, and he's now got himself on the score sheet. We're 25 minutes in, a stellar performance from Moses Mbaye. The ball from James Bell and Lewis Dodd, and it just opens up, gets in between two London Broncos players. The show and go and the power just to dot that ball down. 22-0, and the way Percival's kicking, you can imagine it'd be 24.
And it came from the error.
And it came off the error again, yeah. You just can't do that against quality sides. You've got to get through your sets to be in with a chance in the contest even.
You remember what Saints did in their last away game, don't you? 60 points at Castleford. And they came alive in the second half, I think, on that occasion. Well, but already 4 tries for St Helens, seemingly and seamlessly heading towards the top of the table again.
Yeah, they don't even look like they got out of second gear at the moment. And, you know, look, Mike Eccles, he can only do what he can do with the troops that he's got available. And, you know, again, I mentioned that performance that they put in the other week against Hull KR that I was there at. one thing you can say about London Broncos is they'll still keep turning
Absolutely.
up. You know, there's no question about that.
Look at Percival, make it 4 out of 4 for St Helens. And in it goes, curling it beautifully between the posts, and Saints lead by 24 points to 0 as Moses Mbai adds to London's misery.
Yeah, the width of the pass from Clark to Bell, and then the halfbacks combine. Dodd and Mbai, just the show and go, sells Bassett and is able just to get over for a well-deserved try. Tommy Makinson watching on. Shower changed and boot on that left ankle. And those foot injuries, Stuart, they take a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, St Helens will be hoping it's not too serious and that the boot, the protective boot, is only a precaution. And there it is. The first run of the game.
Time this 10 metres, boys!
You know how bad a foot injury is. Just to give you an example, Catalan Dragons marquee player, Theo Takayaho, I should say, has been out for the whole season and only just coming back after having foot surgery. It can be a nasty one. Saints will be hoping that it isn't. We shall see as Matautia takes the ball forward, and here is Clark. Blake
Carry from
does
Blake.
well to get through the attempted challenge of Kennedy, who comes back for more. 24-0, 27 minutes on the clock here at the Stoop. Last tackle for Saints. Back it goes to Lewis Dodd. Will arrow the kick downfield, but straight to the winger, Lee Kershaw. Let's see now what London can do with ball in hand, because it's been a long, long time since they've had the ball inside the St Helens half.
Yeah, you know, 27 minutes gone and our head is constantly turned to the right hand side of the pitch as London look to clear their end. But it was a decent defensive set there from the Broncos, and you know, they're able to play now through Walker, Meadows.
Now it's a chance for
Story.
Story does well, but it may well have been he was using his own player as a blocker, and it is obstruction, and it is a penalty to Saints. So just when things were looking up ever so slightly for London, they can see the penalty.
Yeah, it's Alex Walker who gets in the way. But again, Stuart, look where they're handing the ball over, and the way that Saints are just going about their process. You can imagine, again, I feel every time they get down here, more often than not, they're going to come away with something.
Well, let's see if they do. Approaching the half-hour mark. Last game of the round. Saints, of course, beat London on the opening weekend of the season, all the way back in freezing cold February. And they, at the moment, are running hot here in Twickenham. Matautia gets up rather gingerly. Here is Lewis Dodd now. And Delaney right in front of the post, 10 yards out, St Helens. 4 tries already in the bank for the Saints this afternoon. Dodd and Wellesby trying to find Davis. The ball goes to ground. Story picks it up, and a St Helens mistake this time gives London an opportunity.
Yeah, brilliant piece of edge defence there from Lee Kershaw. Forces the error on Ben Davis, and Story reacts first and rolls 30 metres up the field and puts Saints on the back foot for the first time in the contest.
And they give away a penalty.
This is better from the Broncos.
That's what happens, isn't it? And we saw it actually with London earlier on in the game. They make a mistake, they give away a penalty, Saints get field position and score. Now what can London do with an error and a penalty given away by St Helens here? Kennedy it is. The midway inside the St Helens half. They're hunting down some points here.
Square, hold. Don't test
And by Emmanuel Wayne also. And
good hit.
Big hit.
Blake on Meadows. Rocks his head back.
Conrad Hurrell and Sione Matautia won't take any prisoners. Here is Jordan Williams. They get another set, so they've dropped the ball, they've given away a penalty, they've given a set restart away as well. And here is Anabai, and this is an opportunity that they've been desperately searching for. What can they come up with? Stop brought down. Meadows, and it's nearly intercepted. Well, it is intercepted, but it's offside, I think.
Ben Davies just jumped the gun.
Davis was offside.
Well, it was important that
Hold him off, boys.
he came far and wide, didn't he?
You're offside, mate.
He's been given his offside. He jumps on the pass and just regathers that. But he's offside, and it's more pressure.
For the first time in the match, London with some concerted pressure on that St Helens line. Here is Adebayi. Passed a late fitness check to be able to play here this afternoon. Meadows now, and Leyland. Is the space for Walker. Walker looking for a way through, but he passes it straight to Blake. Play on though. Well, they've had set after set after set. They've got another opportunity here as Maludi looks for a way through. St Helens defence really being tested for the first time in this game. 8 minutes to half-time. Saints with a 24-0 lead. But London, oh, is that a mistake? Well, Maludi was saying that he was pushed over. He was claiming there as he lost the ball. Incorrect play the ball, and after all that, it comes to now for the London Broncos.
Yeah, it was exceptional play from London Broncos. They opened them up down on this left edge, but Hakeem Maludi, he's trying to make a meal of it. Just get up and play the ball. Across his side. There's not enough in there for James Bell for him to fall over like that. He's trying to con the referee, and he burns him in the end.
Play the ball. Play the ball.
So here comes Saints again with Conrad Hurrell. Saints have got a decision to make about him as well. He's had 3 really successful years at the club. Does he stay for 1 more year or not? Another call that needs to be made.
Yeah, there's certainly a transition period that's already begun at Saints, and they're managing it well. Sat top of the table, Darryl Clark, Ignatius Parsi. How good is it to see him back out there?
That horrendous injury he picked up in the Challenge Cup semi-final a year ago against Lee. It's been a long road back.
14 minutes from the bench last week.
Ignatius Parsi is key, isn't he, for St Helens? Here he is again. Yeah, made his comeback against Catalan.
It's a good line from Sirenin.
Superb from Sirenin. Kick forward there by Welsby. Well, I think that was just too ambitious. I'm not sure why Jack Welsby didn't go on his own there, but Mark Percival was never going to get on the end of that one.
It was the final bounce, Stuart, that just let Percival down. The
kick got on his own.
It's a decent weight of a kick there. It's just that one that goes over his head and rolls over the sideline. Jack Welsby shaking the head.
Here is Kershaw. Of course, don't forget, next Friday, an emotional night it will be. Leeds at home for the first time since Rob Burrows' passing. And Rob Burrow, a tribute to the great man, Friday at 7 o'clock on Sky Sports Action.
Adebayi just loses the ball in contact. And another error.
Too many mistakes.
Yeah, and it's where they're making the mistakes, Stuart, as well. The hardest part of the field to defend is your try line. It takes so much energy out of you. And London have had to do it for, it seems, an eternity in this half. Adebayi there just loses the ball in and around Darryl Clark and Ignatius Parsi.
Well, here comes St Helens once more. Welsby going to find a way through. Manages to offload for Adebayi. Here is young Noah Stevens, another one that St Helens had high hopes for, right in front of the post. Clark has options. He'll go to the left and then by. Cuts inside for Welsby. Nowhere for Welsby to go. Good defence. Can London keep them out? 4 minutes to half-time. Saints hunting down another try. Matautia. Leyland gets up rather gingerly after coming out the loser in that challenge, and Clark goes on his own for the line. Can he get the ball down? Darrell Clark just shy for St Helens. 2 opportunities left in this set. Dodd across the line for Welsby. Kicked through again by Welsby, but easily read by Lee Kershaw. But I think he may well have been tackled just behind the line. So Welsby's kick coming up trumps for Saints. It'll be a goal line dropout. We've got 3.5 minutes to half-time. St Helens leading 24-0.
Fantastic kick there from Jack Welsby. Ben Davis and Percival chasing hard, just traps Lee Kershaw in the in goal. It's another set of 6 for the Saints. Ollie Leyland down in back play.
Well, you may remember he came off worse in that tackle attempt, didn't he, on Sione Matautia? That would have hurt. Welsby lays it off for...
That's a big carry there from Stevens. Well met by Adebayi.
19 years of age, only his 4th game, Noah Stevens.
He got the better of his opposite there.
Here is Sirenin now. Saints looking for try number 5 just before half-time.
Wonga Blake will be licking his lips for a hat-trick here before the hooter.
Bell swivels out with the tackle for Adebayi, but the London forward comes back and eventually helps to bring him down. Clark and Stevens!
He's over.
Noah Stevens managed to get a try, his first ever try for St Helens. We're going to find out. It's going to be another call for the video referee, Tom Grant. No try on the field. Let's see.
Okay, so it's tackle 3. We're looking at double movement. We've got on-field call of no try. Full speed first. There appears to be a secondary motion towards the line. I'm just going to look at a different angle on this, just so I can confirm what we saw on the first angle. In slow. So the ball carrier arm is down there. I'm just checking for a secondary motion towards the line. I'm going to stay on this angle and look at this in full speed. I've got a decision.
Well, double movement is the call from the video referee, so young Noah Stevens denied his first try. It'll be a penalty to London and a wry smile on the face of Kyle Amor.
He just couldn't help himself, could he? It was too tempting for him, but he just moved the ball carrying arm hits the floor, and he uses his left arm to push himself forward again. And the correct call of double movement. And London managed to defend their own line once.
Well, they have the 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Saints' last try coming around the 24-25 minute mark. We've got 2 minutes to go to half time. They've just got to see this half out.
But they have made this game, and just right on cue, I said they are making this game harder than what it needs to be.
And they've made another mistake.
Yeah.
Darrell Clark it was with the tackle, but this gives Saints another golden opportunity.
It almost becomes a bit of a training session for them. I don't mean to sound disrespectful to the Broncos, but it's all been good ball attack for Saints. An opportunity, a chance to put things on. So far, they've cut them open on 4 occasions, and with 90 seconds left on the clock.
Well, they've got to get a full set, aren't they?
Yeah. I have to credit London. They have defended the line relatively okay. Obviously, the scoreboard tells a different story, but not be able to keep them out here.
Let's see, here's Hurrell. Is that defence creaking? Ignatius Parsi charges towards the post.
On the line.
Less than a minute to go. Lewis Dodd now. Welsby with a short pass for Sirenin. But again, 1, 2, 3, 4 London players in there to bring Curtis Sirenin down. Still some tackles in the bank for St Helens. Dodd once more, and Bell and Parsi looking to offload.
He's dead. Hold, Marcus way.
They come to the right. And Bailly finds Matautia, does well to hold on. been a bit pedestrian so far this set from St Helens. London have done well. Last one, and by with a teasing kick there towards the post, and well taken, Walker, and they do defend their line. They've defended 2 sets on their line in the last couple of minutes, haven't they, London?
Yeah, that last set from St Stuart, it lacked any sort of quality in there. I was questioning what they were doing. Some of the skill wasn't quite where it needed to be in terms of where the passes should have been and stuck. And London, they're going to keep playing here. There it is.
Kershaw is brought down, and that brings to an end the first 40 minutes here in the sunshine in Twickenham. Paul Wellens will be reasonably happy, the St Helens coach, I think. Certainly with the first quarter or so. Moses in by absolutely outstanding, making 2 tries and scoring 1 himself. But in the last 15 minutes of the half or so, not so good from St Helens. There were 2 tries early on for Wanga Blake. Of course, they lost Tommy Makinson early on. And we'll be back shortly. Action. The Saints very much in control here, 24 points to 0. We've had 4 tries, but London giving it a real go and defending well in the last quarter of an hour of the half. But Saints will be happy, as will their 1,200 travelling fans who've come down to Twickenham today.
No ice creams will be though, Stuart, eh?
Well, we did ask. 4 ice creams, please.
Down, boys.
Okay, here we go, second half. And Ollie Leyland will get us underway. Good kick. Interesting this, isn't it? I mean, for London, you feel it's damage limitations. We know they will never ever give up, and they haven't in each game they played in Super League. But for Saints, it's about scoring as many points as possible.
I think so. They had enough possession, enough field position to do so. But credit London's defence as well. But I just thought that the last sort of 10-15 minutes, Saints with the ball in hand, they just looked a little bit off, a little bit pedestrian. And just need a bit of a change of speed in and around that ruck before they open them up once again. Parsi trying to do his best for that.
Midway inside their own half of the field as Clark, and it was Wellesby who made the error. It wasn't the best of passes, you have to say, from Darryl Clark, but it's the second time we've seen Jack Wellesby make a mistake here, and not the best of start to the second half. Yeah, it was St Helens.
It was a dipping ball, just gets away from Wellesby.
Okay, all the way in.
Again,
arms around, boys. Thanks, Ethan. Down.
To echo what you've just said, a disappointing start to the half for the Saints. But an opportunity now here for London Broncos. They opened up the right edge, if we cast our minds back.
They're trying to push them off the scrum there. Saints do that on occasions, don't they?
Stand. Stay square, Curtis. Hold.
No doubt that London will target in and around Conrad Hurrell and by. Try and open them up.
But a chance here early on in the second half for the London Broncos. Walker. Here is the captain now, Will Lovell.
3. Lewis, straight up. Hold.
Kershaw at dummy half. On that Saints 20. Meadows will find Leyland. Have they got space on the far side with Hakeem Maloudi? Saints very, very quickly seeing the danger. Just shouted hell there. The referee, James Vella, before Maloudi managed to get the offload. As you mentioned, he's the king of offloads, isn't he, this year in Super League, Hakeem Maloudi?
Yeah, 29 before the ball was kicked this afternoon. Sits top of the offload charts in Super League as Hakeem Maloudi. It's good pressure from James Bell on Meadows. Just allows Percival to take that catch where he wants to take it as well.
Yeah, did well.
Release now. Hold.
Wellesby now looking for a way through.
2. Go. Play on. City.
Quick play the ball. Here is Blake. Blake will be looking for a hat-trick again in the second half. Scored 3, didn't he, in their last away game when they won at Cass. Here is Cerny Matautia.
Move. Back.
on a roll, St Helens. Clark.
He's got footwork, hasn't he, Darryl Clark?
5.
Last one, though.
Now that's you.
Where are they going to go? To the air, I suspect. And Lewis Dodd does.
No one scores.
Hurrell chasing in, trying to find the ball, and that was a good take. Bassett on the far side for the Broncos. And if you're Mike Eccles in this situation, when you pretty much know by the half-time score that it isn't going to happen for you, so they make another mistake, picked up by Story, just managing to stay in play. But as a coach in that situation, I guess the only thing you can say is just keep going, show some fight.
Absolutely, you know, that's all they can do, just stick together, keep through the processes that Mike Eccles and Ryan Sheridan have laid out in front of them, and just have that mental toughness just to stay in the contest.
As we mentioned, only 27 tries scored in Super League so far. Pick up by Wellesby. This should give Saints some decent field position. He's looking for support from Mark Percival. Percival just shy of halfway. Paul Wellens, much to muse about, the St Helens coach. He knows his side are going to win. The big question is by how many. Parsley. Here is Darryl Clark. Lewis Dodd inside the run from Bell, and there is Darryl Clark. Well, that was lovely. They cut open the London defence, and that was a move right off the training ground. And it's taken St Helens 5 minutes into this second half to score their 5th try.
Yeah, it was brilliant from Dodd, blistering from Bell, and Clark just races away. He gets his first of the afternoon. It was the straightness at Lewis Dodd. He steps off his right foot and he squares up his front defender. And James Bell just pushing on the inside. There's a marker down, and Adebayi doesn't react quick enough. And James Bell's offload, it's almost a blind offload, Stuart, because he knows that Darryl Clark's flooding through the middle of the field. And like all good nines do, they just have a sense and an understanding of when an opportunity's there. And with personnel like James Bell in your ranks and the form that he's in, Darryl Clark just sniffs in and around that and gets a try.
Tell me, I mean, it's always going to be very difficult for whoever came in. And you played in a dressing room for nearly a decade with James Roby, to come in and replace such big boots. But I think Darryl Clark is making a very good fist of it, isn't he?
Absolutely, he's a quality player, you know, a former Man of Steel himself in 2014 in his time at the Castleford Tigers, but spent nearly 10 years, I think it is, over at Warrington Wolves and won Challenge Cups and got international honours as well. He's a quality player, and he's fulfilling that role of James Roby very, very well at the moment.
So Mark Percival, his easiest kick of the afternoon, has been perfect with the boot so far, and Saints are surely going to extend their lead to 30 points to 0. Of course, they're missing the likes of Walmsley and Batchelor and Knowles and Whitley, Lomax and Wingfield. All about squad rotation for all the Super League clubs are suffering similarly, isn't it? So who has the strongest squad could be very, very important. 30 points to 0, 46 minutes gone.
Just keep responding in the rush,
brilliant from Lewis Dodd. Just to square up, Marcus Stock, and then everybody flooding through at speed. You like for the Saints.
Leyland gets us underway again. Here is Noah Stevens.
I really like Noah Stevens. I think he has an awkward little spin out of tackles, and he's carried the ball well since he came off the bench. In this, his 4th straight game in a row from the bench, so some valuable game time in his career. And Conrad Hurrell just looks to roll down that right edge, trying to target Ollie Leyland.
Yeah, good little tale, by the way, about Noah Stevens. He's a Liverpudlian, and he started playing rugby union, didn't like it, wanted the challenge of rugby league, went and joined the famous Pilkington club in St Helens, and his journey has taken him to Super League, picked up by Saints, and is making a name for himself. Bell does really well, James Bell.
5, Ollie move.
Last one, Leyland had to make the tackle and did. And Bye puts one up. Walker will challenge for it, does well under pressure from Wellesby, but again St Helens there making 70, 80 metres on their set.
I said it just as the players came back out that Saints needed to speed in and around that ruck and then play off the back of it, and they did that through Bell. And the kick there, Jack Wellesby just thought about trying to out-jump Alex Walker, who's very, very safe under that high ball. Is Walker, the full-back for the Broncos.
Yeah. Jacob Jones at dummy half. Here is Lewis Biernack. Second spell at London. They missed him in the early stages of the season. He was out injured, got injured in pre-season. Of course, also with their talisman and their player of the year, Bill Leyland, who won't play again this year with a bad knee injury. But they're having a go here. Here is Meadows. Last one though, still pinned back inside their own half. Meadows will spiral the kick downfield, but it's an easy take there for Blake.
It was great kick pressure from Lewis Dodd. Cannot undersell those little efforts in games and what that does. It basically just allows Saints just to catch the ball and cross over the halfway line once more. Terrific work there from the halfback.
Wellesby for Parsi. Here is Darrell Clark, score of Saints tries so far in this second half. Bell, and Bell's through, he's got support again from Darrell Clark, and James Bell is causing havoc in that London Broncos defence. Twice he's broken through in this second half, twice he's set up tries, and twice he's put Darrell Clark over, and St Helens extend their lead.
Yeah, he's having a blinded second half. Is James Bell cutting them open, slicing through at will. I think he's one of the best 13s in the competition, James Bell. Shows his brilliance here. Goes to the line. Some questionable defending has to be said. He just rounds Biernack far too easy. Darrell Clark again, just knowing that Bell's either got a short pass, an offload, or an ability to cut through defences, pushes up through the middle of the field. It's almost a carbon copy of what we just saw earlier. James Bell, as soon as he passes that ball, he claps Darrell Clark in. And those Saints fans delighted with that right in front of their very eyes.
So 6 tries, and I think that man might be impressed. There he is, the inimitable Mike Stevenson. Steve-O still loves his game and still gets around as much as he can, can't he? And there is Tony Ray as well.
The Eagle Eyes.
Tony Ray. Great servant of the London Broncos, the Aussie. So Percival looking to make it 6 out of 6, and it is 6 of the best for Saints, and they lead by 36 points to 0.
Yeah, Percival 100% with the boot. The last 2 have been a given. Darrell Clark getting his 2nd of the afternoon and his 5th of the season. He's got James Bell to thank in all 4. It's 36-0. Just under half an hour left on this clock.
So Leyland will get us underway again. As I say, it's tough for Mike Eccles, but the London coach has been dealt a difficult hand, hasn't he, in 2024. Nobody expected London to win promotion and to take their place in Super League. And in a way, the odds have been stacked against them in every way, haven't they?
Yeah, they rode away from 5th last year and found themselves, obviously, I'm going to say, in an unwanted position of being promoted. I mean that, but they didn't plan for it, they didn't expect it.
Yeah, and look at that. 4 out of the next 5 are away. And it's going to get even tougher. Wigan, Leeds, Lee and LKR, and sandwiched in between that game on the road. And Ebbsfleet when they take on Castleford next month. Oh, superb from Matautia, and there's the offload. Here comes another one, and it's going to be a hat-trick for Darrell Clarke inside 7 minutes in this second half. Sumptuous and sensational from Saints, and how about that for Darrell Clarke? 3 tries in a little over 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's all smiles for Clarke and the rest of the teammates. They're all enjoying it this afternoon, but it was Moses Mbai who digs right into the line and lets that short, soft pass go for Matautia. And boy, he had some work to do, did Sione Matautia, but he does it so well. We just see it all unfold here. Digs right into the line. It's on Ollie Leyland again. There's an awful lot of try causes in and around that man. But Wellsby pushing through, and Clarke and Dodd, and it's a case of just pick which one you want. And Darrell Clarke gets his hat-trick, the quickest hat-trick perhaps he's scored of his career. 1, 2, 3 there for Clarke. The work from Sione Matautia, the strength.
Well, it's absolutely brilliant from Darrell Clarke, isn't it? In his career, his long career, and he made his debut back in 2011 for Castleford. He's only ever scored 1 hat-trick, and that came against Widnes 10 years ago. But I bet he didn't score it in 7 minutes. All smiles. 3 tries for Saints, 3 tries for Darrell Clarke, and they're starting to put their foot on the gas.
Well, there's been 6 tries scored this afternoon, and 5 of them, Stuart, have come from the 2 new additions into St Helens in 2024, in Wanga Blake and Darrell Clarke.
What an afternoon for Clarke. 31 years of age, brought in with the impossible task of replacing James Roby, but he's put in some stellar performances for Saints in 2024. 3-year contract and 3 tries this afternoon here in Twickenham. Is it going to be 7 out of 7 for Mark Percival? And it is, and Saints now lead by 42 points to 0. A 7-minute hat-trick for Darrell Clarke.
Yeah, well, it's normal service resumed for this game. Everybody who came or tuned into this contest expected to see Saints blow them away. And at 42 points inside of 54 minutes. Perhaps plenty more points out there for the travelling team.
In the last home game, they conceded 60, didn't they, against Hull KR. They've got to keep going. They've got to keep fighting and scrapping.
It's another good carry there from Stevens.
Climbs all over 2 of the London players in Jones and Anabayi. Here is Curtis Sirenin now. Saints have their tails up.
Yeah, 2 carries and nearly 40 metres game. Just look at this carry here. Jacob Jones, get out of my way. Percival now riding tackles and going through.
Brought down on halfway by Kershaw. It's looking ominous, isn't it, for London? And Bailly and Wellsby and Matautia racing into the line. Still 2 tackles left in this set. Clarke again. Here is Moses Mbai. Last one. The ball, I think, will go back to Lewis Dodd, who arrows it towards Walker. Chases on. Wellsby does well. Walker does well. And on this occasion, London survive.
Yeah, it's ruthless, isn't it, from Saints, just rolling almost 100 metres from where Noah Stevens first got his hand on the ball to turn Walker 3 metres or so away from his own line. But just watching contrast how the London Broncos struggle to clear their own end.
Well, against the best defence in Super League, quite simply.
Move on the left.
Well, Leyland there taps the ball back, and they're in trouble here. It's picked up on the far side by Jared Bassett on his own line. It's the last one. That was just poor error-strewn play. What can they do on the last one? Leyland, anywhere will do. And the ball bounces once and twice, and in the end, it was a decent kick from Ollie Leyland, because it just took the fizz out of the situation, and everyone could take a breather. 56 minutes gone, St Helens leading 42-0.
But when I said in contrast how one side can roll up the other end of the field, I didn't expect London Broncos to lose meters there. They almost kicked that ball from off their own dead goal line. And the handover is just going to be 5 meters or so into the Broncos half, and it's going to be just a more juggernaut wave after wave of attack from Saints. Sam Royal now, he gets his first touch.
Only his second appearance of the season, Sam Royal. He'll be keen to take his chance with all the injuries Saints have in the pack. But Parsi is back in business and looking good. I want the ball stolen in the tackle. Well, he's saying no. The referee, James Vella, saying that Parsi lost the ball. So London will get it back in a bit of a relief.
One thing Parsi will get out of this game is some much-needed game time.
Shot clock on.
But they get away with that one, don't they? You can just see.
Shot clock's on, boys.
A little pull on the ball.
And he looked up at the referee as well, didn't he? Expecting the penalty to be given. He did get away with it. Fortune favours the brave. Probably should have been a penalty, but London will get the ball back as we approach the hour mark. 42 points to 0. The highlight of the second half, 3 tries in a 7-minute spell for Darryl Clark. Good chance there. Stop for the Broncos. What can they do? They've had so little possession, haven't they?
Emmanuel Wayne's carried the ball with a bit of purpose since he's came onto the field.
It's a big boost for them as well. The Papua New Guinean. Oh, now this could be interesting. Walker with the kick downfield, chases on, and Wellesby manages to get onto the ball, but that was more encouraging, wasn't it, from the London Broncos? Yeah, Emmanuel Wayne missed the entire season, just about. I think he played a part in the first game at Saints, but since then he's been out injured. And
he's a powerful ball carrier.
Yes.
But again, London have cut open the right edge. They've done it once in the first half, and they've done it again there. This time it was just individual brilliance from Walker to check back and go down that far side of the field. Offload from Parsi to Royal.
What can they do here with Dodd and Sirenen? Well, that came off.
It's going to be 6 more.
Lee Kershaw, they're going to wipe the tackle count clean.
Good shot as well there on Davis from Wayne.
Yeah.
He's holding back there, boys. It's penalty to London.
Well, I think that call, I think, has come from the touch judge.
Just trying to figure out what this is for.
See what it was all about. Sirenen, the man who's pulled back, Sirenen smiling, but it wasn't the referee's call. Kyle?
Well, I'm confused with that one.
Yep.
Matters not, Stuart.
Yep.
Well, look at this for a carrier. Whoa!
Parsi on Wayne, what a hit! Whoa!
Oh, big contact there. Oh.
Have a look at this.
Move!
Monster shot there. Bang!
All's fair in love and war, as they say.
Tackles like that, Stuart, I'm glad I'm sat up here.
You don't miss it, do you?
No, not one bit.
Leyland now, and Meadows. And London going to get some points on the board as Walker tries to find a way through. Yeah, it was a puzzling penalty, I think we should say.
Give me a step, Ignatius. Give me a step. Hold. Go.
We'll see if London can make the most of it.
Get on side
Being
out
it
here,
now.
boys. 5. Get out now. Stay level.
Last one.
Hold. Go.
Going to see a bit of magic. Jones, not the best of passes. And Leyland goes towards the corner. But, well, Blake does well, eventually, and I'm not sure why he didn't keep hold of that.
Well, Wellesby does better there.
He does brilliantly to keep in play. Element of danger behind the decision by Wonga Blake there.
Look, with 42 points on the board, I think you can afford to come up with players like that, but pretty certain that everybody in a Saints shirt would have just thought it'd been easier to just catch it. Perhaps he was going
as well as I
sideline.
do that any coach in this situation, in a winning situation, the only thing that matters from here on in is A, no injuries, and B, keeping the opposition out.
Conrad Hurrell just left on the
Conrad
floor.
Hurrell.
Yeah. Physios are on now, having a look at him. Fraser-New-Smith and Wellens all look on, but it's this incident here. Doesn't really look again, pretty similar to Tommy Makinson's there. Perhaps it's just that third man being a little bit below the knee, if anything, but he looks okay to continue.
Yeah, looks like he's okay. Tommy Makinson injured in Saints' first carry of the ball. With a big boot on his foot, on his ankle.
You trapped him in. Keep it low.
Stevens. Saints for once struggling to get out of their own 20. This has been good, this from London, hasn't it? Dodd forced to kick. It's a good swirling kick. It'll be picked up by Maludi, and now Walker. Walker looking for a way through on halfway, but there is no way through. We've got 18 minutes to go, and St Helens leading here 42 points to 0.
In the last 5 or so minutes, though, belonging to the London Broncos. Having a little bit of a purple patch in this game. It's just a shame for them that the scoreboard sits as it does. But Reece Kennedy now back on.
Ever present, the Australian. Surplus to Hull KR requirements, wasn't he, Reece Kennedy? But he's put the hard yards in and a lot of work in his first year here in London. Here is Walker now. No way through for Jared Bassett.
Tackle 4. Jared's got the ball. Tackle 4. Doctors on, boys. Doctors on 4. Tackle 4.
Well, the doctors on for St Helens. Is this an injury? I think it looks like Ben Davis is coming off. I don't know if you've taken a blow to his head. Curtis Sirenen is just receiving a bit of treatment as well.
Tackle 4,
but Ben Davis,
the doctor on there,
yeah, is coming off. He may well have taken a blow to the head, I think, Kyle. Bienek looking for a way through for the Broncos.
Now get your hands out. Square.
Jones at dummy half. Leyland goes to the sky. Percival watches it well and takes it well. Matautia now. Well, since that try blitz at the start of the second half, London have they've come into their own a little, haven't they?
That's what I mentioned in the first half. You know, this London outfit, they won't go away. That's a dangerous tackle, though, and that's not going to help. Emmanuel Wayne just pulling the legs from Percival and putting him in a dangerous position. And Vella in the middle signals the penalty. Dodd looks to play on quick.
Here is Noah Stevens.
Started this season in dual reg or on loan at Rochdale and has found his way into this team, and like I said, 4 starts off the bench for him, some valuable game time, and Bell skirting, looking threatening.
Always does, always has in this second half, hasn't he, James Bell? Darrell Clark, by the way, is now on 98 career tries.
Only need to square, mate.
Matty Lee's now back out there. George Delaney too. So the ring and the changes. Dodd looks
for a way through. Has he got support? Has to hang on to the ball. This is the last one. Clark. Again an acting halfback, and then Bai will head that towards the corner, towards Maludi, and he's dropped the ball, and in the end it's booted behind by Leyland, and that will have to be a goal line dropout. Yeah, I mean, just on that Darrell Clark, with that hat-trick he scored, Sky Sports Rugby League statistician Ian Proctor tells me that the last hookers to get Super League hat-tricks for St Helens were Kieran Cunningham and Mickey Hyam, both of them in the same game. And would you believe that was against London all the way back in 2003. So, bit of history here for Darrell Clark this afternoon. And Saints add to their try tally. 4 scored in the first half, 3 so far in the second. Delaney back on.
carry there from Delaney.
Knows only one way.
Yeah.
Move, get up! Hold, go.
Now Dodd misses one out. Wellesby, oh, it's going to be a strong one for Percival. It was so easy, wasn't it?
Too easy, Stuart.
Key question is, will it be pulled back for obstruction or not? But the referee on the field, James Bell, saying that it is a try to Mark Percival. The video ref will have the final call though.
This is tackle 2, we've got on-field call a try. We're checking for an obstruction in back play. This ball is caught. Playing at this point. Checking for any disadvantage off of this play here. It's the angle we need. Ball is passed at this point. There's contact there. Are there any defenders disadvantaged from this? So the London defender is hit flush, which disadvantages him, which prevents him from making the tackle. We've got a decision.
Well, here comes the decision. I think it's going to be ruled out for obstruction.
What is he meant to do?
I don't think Mark Percival can quite believe it. What about you, Kyle Abel?
Well, what's James Bell meant to do? Two people have run into him to make a tackle. He can't disappear. He's tried to run between the two players. They've both made a decision on him. And James Bell goes to the line there. What's he supposed to do? Crazy.
You're not getting on with the video ref today, are you?
No, not at all.
Well, the ref on the field ruled it a try. The video referee ruled it out. And it stays at 42-0 with 13 minutes to go. And Kyle Amor is still shaking his hand.
And the defender there has made a play on Bell. He's came both from inside and outside. Where else is he meant to go?
Back it up! Back!
Wow.
Jack, you're off, Jack! Don't stand in front, mate. 3, movement! Ready, Lees, you're off!
Leyland now. Picked up on the bounce by Maludi. London still giving it a go. I'm just chuckling here. Kyle Abel still shaking his head in disbelief. Maludi plays the ball. Here is Meadows and Walker. Offloads to Kershaw. I'd love to get some points on the board, the London Broncos. 13 minutes to go. Kershaw across the line, but he's going no further. Last tackle. Leyland. Well picked up by Wellesby. Just manages to stay.
Move! Hold!
I mean, you'd have to say, apart from that hat-trick from Darryl Clark, since then, Stuart, London have had a fair crack in this second half.
Hold!
Crowd, by the way, this afternoon, over 5,000, 5,200 here, the biggest for a London home game since 2010, and that was also at the Stoop, so good to see. 1,200 have come from St Helens this afternoon. They'll be enjoying it. 12 minutes to go, and they lead by 42 points to 0. Here is Delaney. Don't often see him pass the ball, do you?
No, route one.
Last one. Good defensive set from the Broncos. It's in by, left-footed. Will launch that kick downfield.
Oh, it's hit him as well.
It bounced, and it hit Maludi. How unlucky can you get? And it means Saints will get the ball back. Well, well, well. When things are not going for you.
They're not going for you. And this is just unlucky. The bounce of the ball pops up, hits him on his right shoulder. Darryl Clark will just tap this ball 15 metres away from London's end. Matty Lees drops off Stevens.
Well, Stevens was close to his first ever St Helens try in the first half. Clark now. And Delaney trying to swivel his way to the line. Well, he swiveled and swiveled and swiveled, and
he wasn't giving up.
No.
George, take it back,
London
mate.
Broncos through Kennedy and being just do enough to keep him out.
Line, boys. Play the ball. Hold, go.
Clark. Dodd and Wellesby.
Evans square.
A tackle by Leyland.
Hold, go.
Lewis Dodd once more. Dropped off for Stevens.
Ollie,
Again, all a little pedestrian from St Helens in this set.
Go.
Wellesby for Hurrell. I don't think there's anything pedestrian about that. You're not going to stop Conrad Hurrell from that distance, and Hurrell crashes his way over for his 7th try of the season, and Saints make it 8 tries for the afternoon. 46 points to 0.
Yeah, nothing fancy there in that play. Just a big man arriving with intent, purpose, and at speed. The try scorer last time out. Saints beat Catalan Dragons, and he's on the scoreboard again. He's Conrad Hurrell. The kick was an awkward one for Hakeem Maloudi. Can't deal with it, and the field position there is set up. Jack Wellesby, short pass, and just gets in between Stott and Bassett. And just rips the inside shoulder off, and too big, too strong. Walker can't do anything. 46-0.
No need for the video referee there. 9 minutes to go. And St Helens leading by 46 points to 0. Mark Percival will try and add the extras, hasn't missed a kick. What do you think he's thinking, Mike Cackles, the Broncos coach?
Well, I think there is positives in this performance. It sounds crazy to say, but there has been some good periods for the London Broncos. The togetherness that they've shown when they have been able to defend the line, but it's just a mismatch in quality, if I'm honest. But there is things out there for him to be positive about. But they were always going to be up against it, weren't they? Coming here with Saints at pretty much as full strength as they can be for this moment in time. There isn't anybody left out through rest or through knowing that they're playing the bottom of the table. Paul Wellens knows that it's all congested up at the top of the Betfred Super League in season 24, and every point is valuable.
Well, we'll hopefully be hearing from Paul Wellens before the end of the programme this afternoon. Can Mark Percival maintain perfection? Hasn't missed so far this afternoon.
Oh, it's his first one.
And it hits the post. He'll be disappointed with that. So St Helens 46, London 0. Hurrell adding his name to the list of try scorers, and still 8 minutes to go.
Yeah. It's all one-way traffic. Conrad Hurrell gets on the score sheet.
Yes, thumbs up from Connie Hurrell. For St Helens, I guess, as I mentioned, it's all about not picking up any more injuries, keeping it 0, and I guess trying to make it 50 points.
Yeah, perhaps so. I mean, look, all the coaches, whenever a performance is like this, the first thing they say is the 0, isn't it? You know, they're a hard bunch to please, are those coaches, but I think Saints, they've not really got out of second gear, if I'm honest.
Hold. Go. Play on.
Just a professional performance, has to be said. Parsi getting some extended minutes since that horrific injury.
In basic terms, Carl, they've come and done what they had to do.
Yeah, look, it can be a difficult place.
The impressive James Bell once more. I'm sure he'll be in your thoughts for the Betfred player of the match. We'll be letting you know who that is in the next couple of minutes. Kyle Amor has that time to make his mind up. Last one in this set for St Helens, just inside their own half of the field. Hat-trick hero Darrell Clark. Back it goes for Lewis Dodd. Taken by Maloudi, just inside his own 20.
One, move! Just play the ball, Hakeem! Go. Ready, hands away.
Meadows. Robbie Story now does well, gets past the challenge of Percival inside the Saints half. Good tackle from Batautia. Meadows once more, and here is Walker. Leyland invites the run from Maludi, and it takes a favourable bounce. But in the end, they make a mess of it. Well, they were going for it, fair play. They have to go for it, don't they?
Yeah. It's a turnover, 35 metres away from Saints' line. Bounce favours them on that occasion. Bassett tries to keep the ball alive. And the hack on from Leyland just goes over the sideline.
Next weekend, Saints away at Salford. Next Sunday, and as we mentioned, it doesn't get any easier, does it, for London. Next Friday, they're away at Wigan, the first of 4 away games in 5, and that Saints schedule coming up. Cass at home, huge game against Wigan on the 12th of July, home to Warrington, and then away at Lee. That's what it's looking like for the next month or so for St Helens, who are going to go back to the top of the table on points difference over their big rivals, the Wigan Warriors, who have that game in hand, which will be played in August at home to the Lee Leopards. Saints looking to finish with a flourish, looking to bring up 50 points. Here is Clark now, and Dodd. Bell, who's been terrific. Again, James Bell. Clark and Ignatius Parsi. Last one for St Helens, as they go again with Dodd. A little kick through. Percival chases it, and Mark Percival gets his hand on the ball. There can surely be absolutely no arguments about this one. Percival denied by the video referee a short time ago, but Percival gets the try, and Saints hit 50.
They do, through Mark Percival. He's only missed one kick this afternoon, and he finally gets his try that he deserves as well. Percival just out competing the right edge. Beautiful kick from Dodd, has to be said. Well, Percival just chasing harder than anyone else on the field. He gets past Kershaw with ease and gets that right hand down. And Saints, they hit the 50, like you said.
Yeah, their ninth try. Percival playing on the wing. Saints forced into a reshuffle because of the early injury to Tommy Makinson. Doing his job as every winger should, so it is 50 points to 0. The Betfred player of the match, I guess there's plenty of contenders. Percival himself, Bailly, Clark, Bell. What's the decision, Kyle Amon?
Oh, look, you're right. It was really, really difficult, and I'm sat here almost second-guessing myself because Darryl Clark scores a hat-trick, and you would think that he would be the Betfred player of the match, but I'm going to give it to the guy who started the afternoon all off. He was brilliant in the first half, and he's continued that into the second half. It's Moses Mbai. He's our Betfred player of the match.
Yeah, he's had a brilliant game as Moses Mbai were deputising in the halves for the injured Johnny Lomax.
He came up with a couple of try assists in there, scored one himself, and he just set this juggernaut off.
Well, he's been outstanding, hasn't he?
He's been quality, yeah.
He's been a great value to Saints since they brought him in.
But again, I do feel tight on that. How'd you scoring a hat-trick and not coming away?
Well, we'll blame you. The guy scores a hat-trick inside 7 minutes and isn't playing the match.
Look, some of them were put on a plate for him, Stuart. You know, he'll even admit that himself. But he's been quality. 80-minute shift from Darryl Clark as well.
So Percival, can he have the extras? Oh, brilliant kick. What a kick. Stuff. For the moment it left the booth, curled in beautifully, didn't it? 52-0, St Helens lead. I think it was like a golf fade, wasn't it, with an iron?
Stay on side as you are, it's good. Contact.
We'll leave that one just there, Stuart.
Teamwork with me, boys, all right? It's going good. Stay on!
Short kick-off here from the Broncos. It's not even gone the 10.
It hasn't. So that'll be a penalty. Saints will get the ball back. And another opportunity to put some more points on the board.
May as well go for it.
Not travelling 10 metres. Hang on, hang on.
I'm buying. You've just given him man of the match.
I know, and he goes and does
committed
that.
the cardinal sin, not kicking the ball out from a penalty.
Oh, it might make a pair here. They're coming from deep. Matty Lee's with a chase down. He gets away.
What a chance here for the Broncos. Oh, the ankle tap there
from Darryl Clark.
Darryl Clark, who was denied the man of the match by Kyle Amor. Can London finish with a flourish now? Maludi and Meadows. Here is Emmanuel Wayne. Kershaw cuts inside. 2 minutes for London to get some points on the board. Saints leading 52 points to 0.
Darryl, you're off, Darryl!
Meadows once more.
Move now! Hit the line!
Stock and dummy half. Now Leyland, they've got numbers out wide. Picked up by Maludi, but he had to stop. There was nowhere to go. And Blake brings him down.
You surrender! Play the ball!
2 plays left here for the Broncos. Leyland feinted to kick, and instead it's Meadows who kicks to the corner. Kershaw will go for it. Has he managed to get the ball down? And Lee Kershaw got a consolation try right at the end for the London Broncos. Meadows with the kick over. Kershaw racing onto it. Saints were hoping to keep the Broncos at 0, but have they? The video referee will decide.
Okay, so it's tackle 4, we've got an unfield call of a try. Just check in onside, offside into grounding. So we've got one player that's offside, so we'll track that player. So there's nobody in a position to receive the ball. We can play him from this point. These are onside, so we're in towards grounding now. This one will do. It's a fair challenge. In possession. Appears to stay in possession there. Still in possession of the ball. Thank you. I've seen all I need.
Well, it was a juggling Lee Kershaw, wasn't it? He had it, he lost it, he had it, and then he scores the try, and there is some consolation for London in the very last minute. Lee Kershaw gets them on the board, and they've tried hard. You can't deny them a score right at the end of the game. Pretty sure Paul Wellens won't be very happy that St Helens had conceded, but you can't take anything away from the Broncos and from Lee Kershaw.
Oh, look, he'll move on from this with Paul Wellens, but you're right, it just takes a little bit of gloss off this win. The kick from Meadows rather, on the outside of his boot, and Kershaw just chasing. Wellesby just tries to get over, can't get there quick enough. And Kershaw gets that consolation try, and Leyland with a difficult kick.
I think what you can say about London is what you can say about them all year.
They don't go away, do they?
They give it a go.
No, they give it a go, and they stay in it, but it's what they often do, you know, in that first hour that lets them down. And Mike Eccles knows it's been a tough day at the office for his troops, but...
Let's see, Leyland off the touchline.
He's nailed it.
Good. That's a brilliant kick from Leyland. So as we approach the last few seconds of this game, something to smile about, something to celebrate for the London fans. Their biggest crowd, home crowd, for 14 years. Over 5,000 here this afternoon. They get a try to celebrate right at the end. Mark Percival, by the way, who was discarded by Kyle Amor for player of the match, 20 points. And the second time in 4 games he scored 20 points, also in Saints' win at Castleford. You had a tough call, didn't you?
Yeah, he did. But it was that player of the match who, he tried to just go for distance, and Hakeem Maludi fields the ball and starts the rot off on that left side.
It all came from the man of the match, not kicking the ball out for the penalty.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but we hear him from Moses and by, and the bounce nearly favouring the Brave. And Wanga Blake, play on, he says, the referee. And I think
Thanks, boys. Okay.
that may well be it. There goes the final hooter, and St Helens return to the top of Super League. The demolition job of the London Broncos. They won by 52 points to 6, and we'll be getting reaction very shortly from Moses Mbai and from the St Helens coach Paul Wellens. Saints hit the Super League summit, winning 52 points to 6.